Hit the debate stage in less than 2 hours, and the race is now in the national spotlight because of Democrat Jay Jones' text message controversy. His challenger, Republican Jason Miyares, will likely try to make that the focal point of tonight's debate. And joining me now is Larry Sabato, the director of the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia. Larry, always good to see you. Larry, let's start with this. What does Democratic nominee Jay Jones need to achieve tonight in light of those bombshell text messages in which he texted Republican delegate Kerry Coyner suggesting that former House Speaker Todd Gilbert deserved, quote, 2 bullets to the head, comparing him to Adolf Hitler?
What he needs to do, he can't possibly accomplish, which is to make people forget about those texts and other things that have come out about him. He just can't do it. Now, what he could do reasonably is to bring up Trump. Trump is very unpopular in Virginia and has been consistently, lost all 3 elections here. If he can tag the incumbent Attorney General Jason Miyares, who's a conservative Republican and has supported Trump consistently, if he can tag Miyares with all of Trump's controversial actions, then maybe he can reduce some of the negativity about his own candidacy. But I'll even be surprised if that happens.
On the flip side, what does Republican incumbent Jason Miyares need to achieve tonight?
He needs to read those texts over and over and over again, and just for a break, remind people that Jay Jones, just freshly out of the legislature, had driven on the Interstate 64, 116 miles per hour, and then after having been given by the court 1,000 hours of community service, spent, he claims, half of them working in his own political action committee. Look, these things are such embarrassments that the people who watch this are not going to have a particularly good opinion, certainly of Jay Jones, and possibly Miyares too, depending on how he handles it. But that's not what matters particularly. The turnout, the audience for this, with all respect, and I'm glad we're having it, will be tiny. It's at the University of Richmond, great place, but it's from 6 to 7:30, and I just don't think it's being carried in all that many places, and not that many people will watch it in the places where it's being carried. So I don't know whether it will exist in most voters' minds, and the vast majority of voters have their minds made up.
Interesting. How has the focus of this race changed because of the texting scandal? Do you think that it's shifted from the policy issues to questions of character and judgment?
Oh, yeah, particularly for Attorney General. The one place where I think Republicans are hoping that it will have an impact is to somehow bring Abigail Spanberger down. And it may cost her a point or 2 or 3, but she's well ahead. The occasional poll comes out from partisan sources with her ahead by 2 points, but in fact, she's ahead by considerably more than that. I don't think they can tag her with this. They're upset that she hasn't called for him to withdraw from the race. You know why? It's not possible. It's Virginia law hasn't caught up with early voting, and we had hundreds of thousands of votes cast before this scandal came out. So if he dropped off, there would be no opposition at all. So that's the way it is. They're going to have to live with it, and the Democrats are trying to live with it.
Aside from this texting scandal, what other issues do you expect will take place on center stage in tonight's debate?
Well, as I said, from the Democratic side, it's going to be a recitation of Trump's biggest hits, which aren't hits at all in Virginia, particularly the firing of all these and furloughing of all these federal workers, concentrated heavily in Northern Virginia, in Hampton Roads, in the Richmond area where the votes are the most numerous. And anything else Trump has done that is controversial or unpopular here, because every Republican has to bear that burden in states like Virginia that lean Democratic. It's a plus in red states, but it's a big minus in places like Virginia.
Larry Sabato, director of the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia. It's always great to talk to you, Larry. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Sure. And just a reminder that you can keep it locked here. We'll be streaming Virginia's Attorney General debate tonight. Our Matthew Torres is in Richmond tonight covering all of this for us. That debate again starting at 6 p.m. Now is a good time to download our WUSA 9 Plus app on your TV for free and watch. The commander